This morning on BT, the nose always knows. This pet detective is on the case of the missing cat.
All shook up and we'll meet a genuine pet detective.
Where?
Seekers of lost pets, that's coming up next. Jiggling in places I didn't even know was possible. Let's talk about something different right now. We got a treat for you this morning. We have Vicky Vaughan here along with her husband, Mario Odette. Vicky is a pet detective and a very successful one. I understand, Vicky, you've been successful in roughly 80% of the cases you've taken on?
That's correct.
So let's do some introductions. We've got Mario over here, as I just mentioned, but your beagles, Dakota and Montana, which are the key pieces of your detective agency, we could say. Vicky, first up, before we talk about what you do, how did you end up becoming, and how does one train to become a pet detective?
Well, what happened with me is I was watching a documentary on television and I saw that Beverly Hills had a pet detective, and I thought, why doesn't Nova Scotia have one of those? And at the time I had a couple of cats and I was very fearful that they might get outside and I wouldn't be able to find them. So eventually I was sitting at my desk one day at work thinking, you know, things got to get better than this, and then I thought, wait a minute, why don't I become a pet detective? So that's what I did. Now, the training's a little bit difficult because there's not a lot of us out there. So what I did, I combined hunting techniques with search and rescue techniques.
Interesting.
So it's a little bit different. For instance, Dakota is trained differently than any other dog out there. He's a feline territory analysis canine. So he tells me what's going on within that territory. So I can tell if there's a rival cat there, if there's lots of cat activity.
Now, how would he convey that to you? In what way?
It's all body language.
It's all,
yeah. Well,
or he can rather.
It changes when people are walking with me. They can see it. So it's not just something I can see. You can tell that he's changing. Sometimes there's alerts that he gives me, like he'll jump on me and go back to where the cat is.
Because in many of these cases, let's talk a little bit about some do's and don'ts, because it sort of leads into this question. You deal with searching for a lot of lost cats, and often the cat is sort of being blocked from returning home by a rival cat. It's afraid to return home because another cat has moved into its territory? That's
correct. They've lost a challenge with the cat. And one of the biggest mistakes that is made is that people put a bowl of food out on their porch. And what that does is it makes the territory that much more desirable for the cat that won that area. And the cat who's afraid to come back in has a harder time approaching back in, even though you would think they would want the food. The food is intimidating.
What's probably the most rewarding part of the job? I guess it'd be finding cats.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cats and dogs. You know, when you have a walk-up find, it's absolutely the best feeling in the world.
What's probably the most unique place or incredible place that you've found a cat or a dog?
Well, unique or incredible? Well, which one?
Or odd, I guess, might be.
I don't know that anything's particularly odd, because typically we find them either in the woods or on the streets or under a shed or places like that. I haven't found any up a telephone pole or anything like that, but you know.
How do people react to because of the silly Ace Ventura Pet Detective movies? You know, do people sometimes when they first meet you and hear Pet Detective, are they kind of thrown at first before they realize, you know, how well trained you are and how seriously you take it?
Yeah. Sometimes, particularly with couples, one couple is very keen. One part of the couple is keen to hire me, and the other one's going, "Oh no, what have we got here?" But it doesn't take too terribly long till they're on board with us, and they're in it.
Now, did you have, before you got into this, did you have beagles, or beagles have, you know, because of that powerful nose and those hunting instincts, are they sort of the perfect detective sidekicks for this job?
I believe they are. Now, for me, I never even had dogs before I decided to do this, so I didn't know if I could train a dog to sit, let alone do this. So I did a lot of research.
You were really starting from scratch then,
yeah. It might have been a good thing, though, because if you have a search and rescue background or a dog training background, you might be too keen on doing things a particular way.
Really, it's, you know what, it's certainly fascinating. And how many pets have you found? We're almost out of time here, but how many have you found overall now?
I don't have an accurate count right now, but it's got to be about 140.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Well, I know it's always heartbreaking when people lose family pets because they are part of the family. If you'd like to contact Vicky and find out a little more information, let's show the website one more time. There it is right there, petdetective.ca if you're looking for answers. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Great.
Can I give one last tip that we didn't touch on with our pet detective?
Yes.
Sure.
If you have pets at home and you just want the security, if they ever did get lost, make it easier to find them, collect their scent. You can go to the website again, petdetective.ca. It'll explain right on there how you collect your pet scent, and you can actually freeze the scent just in case someday that you actually needed their services. It would make things much easier.
You wouldn't really need to free. It's just embedded, eh, in furniture.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Kidding. Oh, yeah. Furniture and carpets.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to get